This week in Red Dead Online, we have some big sales and discounts at a few vendors across the open world that everyone can take advantage of, both for longtime players and new players alike, plus other opportunities and more this week. Welcome back to the show. Today is weekly update day for Red Dead Online, and this video has you covered with everything you need to know, including all the changes. Now, I should mention right away that unfortunately there does not appear to be any drip feed call to arms survival maps that were added for this week. There are still some in the files, including one for Halloween, but none released this Tuesday for us. And of course, now the triple payouts for gold, money, and XP for call to arms has been taken away and is done as of this morning, so you won't be getting triple rewards, you will just be getting the normal payouts. But with all that said, let's jump in and check out everything together, shall we? If you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on today's video, and if you'd like to stay up to date and in the loop with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So starting off at camp, if we check out the Wilderness Outfitters this week, you will find a discounted fast travel post discount. The fast travel post is incredibly useful for any outlaw who's looking to grind this game. Keep up to date with their roles, whether it's collector, trader, bounty hunter, naturalist, moonshiner. Just zip and zoom around the map and save some time, rather than if you need to run from Tumbleweed to Saint Denis, you don't actually need to run there. You could just fast travel or, of course, load into a different lobby. I use the fast travel all the time, and it's definitely one of the most important purchases in this game that, you use often if you're a long time active player, but you may not think about it, compared to like weapons, ability cards, horses, things like that. Now moving on, over at the Moonshine Shack, we do have discounted toxic moonshine. That's about it, so you could just move on right from there. But over on at the fence, we have big discounts on all bolus, dynamite, fire bottles, throwing knives, hatchets, cleavers, tomahawks, and some tonics sold at the fence. We do have other tonics that are discounted too this week, which we'll get into shortly, so stay tuned for that. But we don't have things like the machete and the high roller revolver that are discounted, so it's not just like a blanket discount on all weapons sold at the fence, because those are weapons and of course they're not discounted. But basically everything else, the bolus are some really expensive items that are discounted this week. Everything else like the dynamite, fire bottles, knives, etc., all those bladed weapons, melee weapons, those don't cost too much, but you can definitely get them on discount this week. The weekly collection for this week consists of the 1800s coin collection, which consists of the 1800 $5 Beckler, the 1800 half dime coin, and the 1800 gold quarter coin, and you could sell all these for a combined total of $100 this week. Over on at Madame Nazar, 30% off all belt buckles in the game, eye patches, monocles, goggles, spectacles, gloves, hip flasks, compasses, and rings. This does seem like a blanket discount of basically 30% off all clothing accessories here at Madame Nazar's. Still pretty expensive because lots of items do still cost gold, and the items that do cost money are still relatively expensive, but for the longtime players, it may be worth checking out if you need to collect these expensive accessories, and you are one of those high-level players with tons of gold and money, and basically what you would say is nothing to spend it on. You could go for 100% and just waste your money on everything at Madame Nazar this week, but not waste as much as you usually would because everything is 30% off. Then over on at the stables, we have massive discounts of 30% off all multi-class horses. These do include the normal multi-horses like Foxtrotters, Turkmens, and Mustangs, but these also include the roll horses. Now, my personal favorites here are, of course, the Turkmens. This should come as no surprise to many of you who have been watching the channel for a while. You know that I'm a total Turkmen simp. However, when it comes to the best value for a player's money, I think the new Mustangs are definitely the horses I would consider purchasing. These released back with the Bounty Hunters update in December of last year, so they're not necessarily brand new, but they're newer Mustangs compared to the OG ones that were in the game, and those are the Buckskin, the Black Tavero, the Chestnut Tavero, and the Red Dun Overo Mustangs, and they're all super cheap horses this week with discounts as low as $350, and at level 4 bonding with these Mustangs, you can expect the stamina and health rings to fill up completely and have full bars or full rings of health and stamina. That's how awesome these horses are. They're much better than the OG Mustangs, so if you're on a decent budget and you want on like a top of the line horse on top of everything, check out these Mustangs in the stables this week. Over on at the general store, you'll find 50% off all tonics in this game. This is the discount I said definitely stay tuned for. I would pick all of these up as they are a great deal. We also have 50% off all chocolate bars, candies, chewing tobacco, and cocaine gum. When it comes to the tonics, you can use the actual online website web browser catalog basically that Rockstar has to buy these things, but you can also buy max in game. You'll just need to buy max a few times to fill up your inventory to get 99 of every single tonic. Usually when we have these discounts, I'm buying everything because otherwise I'm normally crafting potent health cures, potent snake oils, etc. But when we do have these discounts, this is when I say, okay, it's worth it for me to not spend all that time collecting the herbs and spend all that time crafting, because I can save so much money and so much time, which equates to money in the long run, just buying all these tonics, bulking up. And the last time we had this discount was actually not too long ago. It was less than 2 months ago, so I was able to preserve a lot of the tonics I had. I definitely used all the potent health cures that I purchased, but for everything else, I definitely got nowhere near to using all of them. So really, when it comes to this week, I'm just going to need to buy only a few tonics. It shouldn't be too bad. The first time I spent several $100s, and it's always been less and less since. But overall, I mean, we're entering the end of August now. We're past mid-August at this point, and I think we've had this offer 3 or 4 times this year. This is either the third or the fourth time we've had this discount, whereas usually I don't think we had this like at all, maybe only once in 2020. So this is incredible news to see this back in the store this week. And then if you want to check out the general store, again, like I said, 30% off bandanas as well, like the pattern bandana, the trim bandana, the gathered bandana, and the normal bandana in game. Now the interesting thing is we have no limited time clothing in the general store again, and it's been a couple months now at this point since we had it. It really should be something that is pre-scheduled each DLC update, right? Like we have a weekly drop, because as it stands right now, we might as well call this the inconsistently released clothing and not necessarily call it something special like what Rockstar calls it, which is limited stock clothing. It's just disappointing to see. I mean, I know people memed on it back when there was no content in the game back in beta, and they were like, well, they should add something and not just give us clothing, and now we have some other content in the game but we don't have the clothing. But we should have both, right? I don't know how this isn't the like bare minimum. If the weekly updates are scheduled way in advance and they're just basically on autopilot each week, when the tunables change, those change, it should be the same thing for limited stock clothing. I have no idea why. Now, if you were kind of wondering about the quick join menu, Harriet's, Gus's, the gunsmith, things like that, we do not have any discounts at any of those vendors, so you can feel free to go check them out this week, but you won't find really anything going on there. Also, I do want to get your thoughts down in the comments below if you have tried out the Call to Arms survival mode this week and you've gotten the normal payouts. What do you think? Do you think it's still worth doing? Do you think it's just going to be part of like your grind, I guess? You know, sometimes you want to just fight off waves of enemies and you'll take part in the survival mode. That's kind of how I'm feeling. It's really fun content. It's definitely not something that's going to replace roles for me because it's not lucrative enough. Same with just normal free roam grinding. I don't want to take time out of that to jump into Call to Arms. I mean, the gold is nice, but I'm not making any more of it any faster than I would in the free roam. So it's just something that I'm going to do for fun, of course, just like everything else in the game, but it's definitely not something that I'm going to be grinding back to back to back like when we had triple rewards last week, because let me tell you, that was absolutely awesome. But with all that said, that's all we have time for today. We're going to wrap things up right here. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on there. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.